We have one more bot to go before we get ready to hand on over, but before we do that, we're going to get ready to queue up a little tutorial video on that bot, and that bot is Drive-By. We'll be back in just a little bit.
As the starter demolisher for the Decepticons, Drive-By has the same difficulty being healed as others in his class, experiencing 20% less healing efficiency than other warrior types. Armed with the rocket launcher, laser rifle, and energy gloves, commanders using Drive-By should poke at enemies from range first, and then dip in for a hit-and-run kill. Drive-By doesn't have an Omni weapon, so a good strategy is to use rockets to break down the target's shields, then follow up with either of his two spark damage weapons. The Steel Splitter S-Tech on the rocket launcher doesn't deliver a single big hit, but instead hits spark and shield simultaneously. So that means that when the enemy's shield has gone down, they'll also have probably lost a lot of spark. So Drive-By, less work to do when he goes in at the end. The S-Tech on the laser rifle is Circuit Crawler. It slows your targets, allowing Drive-By's crew to move in for the kill, or, if they're close to getting dropped, it allows them to escape. The Spark Uppercut S-Tech on the energy gloves provides Drive-By with burst damage and instant healing capabilities. Repeated use of this technology allows close proximity combat long enough to finish off an enemy. Drive-By's first piece of equipment is Night Coolant, which increases the warrior's weapon attack rate, enabling more damage to be delivered to the target. The ability also increases the amount of damage achieved by Drive-By by a small amount, which also benefits this warrior's other S-Techs. Drive-By's second piece of equipment is Metal Fatigue. It does periodic damage in a series of big bursts over the first few seconds after activation. However, commanders, remember that Drive-By must stay close to his enemies and remain in danger for a long period of time to get the most out of using Metal Fatigue. The final piece of equipment available to Drive-By is Rust Reinforcer. This provides the warrior with a significant reduction in damage, so commanders should look to activate this early on when they're under attack. If activated with the warrior has a single spark point left, he will still die. He's not going to save himself because with a low spark, any point of damage will kill him. It also scales a lot better when under attack from multiple enemies, so if commanders find Drive-By under attack from 2 or 3 Autobots, he'll get more out of the equipment as long as it's used soon enough. Drive-By doesn't have any Omni damage weaponry, which means commanders putting points into damage will likely split them between shield and spark weapons. Putting points into the warrior's focus statistic is also a good strategy because it increases the chance of scoring a critical hit, which can only be attained by inflicting damage through primary attacks. That's attacks that are increased by Drive-By's Night Coolant equipment. If commanders are looking to play Drive-By defensively, resistance is a good stat to increase. Drive-By may look like he's on his last gyroscopes, but he remains a very deadly Decepticon and will cut down any lax Autobot in a sparkbeat. His long-range capabilities will strip away defenses in seconds, while his follow-up weapons will help commanders finish the job.
Exactly. Well, welcome back. Yes, so I am no longer Shawnee, I am now G-Dog. So I switched with him. Sorry, apologies, Sam, but...
Well, you just had a haircut, it's fine.
Yeah, it's just a haircut.
That's all it is.
I'll try to speak really, really fast and maybe we'll give another Founders Pack. So we are in Drive-By's overview. Can we have a quick little rundown on who Drive-By is?
Yep, we'll blast through this section, same as last time.
Yep.
Weapons 1, 2, 3, equipment 4, 5, 6. Weapon 1 is his rocket launchers. They do shield damage, fantastic at stripping away shields. And the S-Tech to that does split damage to both shield and spark, which is really good for doing direct health to their so if they're really low on health and full shield, you can drop them with that because it does damage directly to the spark.
Oh right, so you can knock them out still. Okay,
yeah,
right.
so there's really quite a strong S-Tech for his rocket launchers. His laser rifle is a spark weapon.
Okay.
Only use it on spark, don't bother with shields. If you're on shields, make sure you're using your rockets. Fantastic distance, probably one of, with the rockets, he's really nice long range, but don't count him out with close combat because he does have his gloves, which are spark
damage. Yeah.
Spark damage.
Yeah.
And his S-Tech on that one is self-heal. So make sure he's sustained and in the fight. As a side note for that one, do only use it on, well, when they're on health, spark. If you're using it on shield, you're negating the heal that you'll get back because it's 750% of the damage dealt.
Right, so you really want to be damaged as much as possible to be able to get the better repair, I'm guessing.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Not quite. So, no, so if you do it on the shield, because it's a spark weapon, you're not going to do as much damage.
Course,
so it's the 750% of that damage dealt. So say if I hit you with shield and you do 20, I'd only get 750% of that 20. But if you're on health and I hit you with it because they're spark weapons, and they'll do like 60, you'll get 750, you get a lot more. So do only try to use it for that. Equipment's 4, 5 and 6. Night Coolant increases rocket launcher and energy gloves damage by 10% and laser rifle damage by 30%. Also reduces weapon reloads and cooldowns by 50%. Very good at bursting people out if they're low on health, or even if it's for the start of the fight, you can really hit them hard and make them back off, or potentially kill them depending on who else is in the team with you.
Right, okay.
Metal fatigue?
Fatigue, yep.
Fatigue, yeah, we gotta, I do know English, honest.
Well, I think fatigue is setting in, because it is almost midnight here, but yes.
So yeah, metal fatigue causes periodic spark damage to nearby enemies. If you strip people out with their shields and you're in close combat with your fists, make sure you activate that. Do not bother activating it when they've got their shields up, because you're not going to do anything.
You're never doing any damage to it.
Yeah, and it does do periodic damage. It's not a massive burst like it was with Overclock. The last one is just Reinforcer. Reduces damage by 75%. Again, fantastic if someone's trying to burst you out. You can just put that on, negate a large proportion of the damage, and then turn it around with your 4 and 5 and potentially kill them.
Hammer away in the gloves.
Yep, that's the plan. Just as an overview, some of you guys I've seen in chat, you're talking about Overclock and you're wanting to see more about Overclock. Drive-by is the Decepticon version of Overclock. He does have his own niches, and I personally prefer him. You're probably going to flail at me in the chat. I do prefer Drive-by over Overclock. I prefer the way his equipment, and I don't know, some of the way he feels. It just feels nicer to work with. But I know that loads of people actually prefer Overclock because of his absorb, and that absorb, like, basically it stops people from wanting to burst you out, because you see absorb and you're like, oh no, I need to leave him alone until that absorb wears off. But because with drive-by it's only a negation, it's not that absorb effect.
So people don't really see it,
Yeah, so they still try to knock you out. I'll quickly go into tuning with this one.
Okay.
So tuning for this one, I've actually, it's a bit of an odd setup that I've got. For my stats, I've gone into shield damage, so those rockets can do that additional damage.
Right,
and just get rid of that shield, so it lets me go onto my laser rifle, and that's what my power cores are all about.
Ah, okay, great.
So my power cores, base critical mobilizer, the slow from actually my laser rifle, which I didn't talk about. Every time you activate your S-Tech with your laser, you apply a slow to them, and when you deals critical damage to a slowed target and mobilize them for 0.75 seconds. So it's really good at that kind of stopping people from getting away when they're low on health.
With that distance as well, it's fantastic with his sort of the range that you get from his weapon.
No, it is really good as long as you have that line of sight. The game mode that we were just in is fantastic for that line of sight, but other ones like Santa Vea and stuff like that, they're really difficult because they're close quarters. It's hard to use him in this way. And then the second one is base laser fixer. That's the one. Deals a critical hit with laser rifle, repairs for 7.5% of the damage dealt. So on critical hit, I get a bit of the health back.
Nice.
It's that sustain. You just want to be able to stay in the fight for as long as possible,
right? And
be able to keep up with the rest of the crowd and not be just basically burnt out or killed very quickly.
Okay, great. Let's jump into the game because I know we're running a little over time. Just for people watching, we are going to continue this in around about 2 hours. We're switching over to the US team, so they'll be doing a stream from there. So just let you know, we're not going to be going straight over to the US, but stick around because we have another 4 hours of great content for you guys. So we're just seeing, we've asked who's better, drive-by or overclock. I see that overclock has a pretty heavy advantage with our chat. Oh, no, I didn't say that. Chat. Please bleep me if I ever say that again. But yes, we are seeing that overclock seems to be the favorite for our.
Talking of overclock, there's 3 of them in this one.
Right. Okay. Well, let's put drive-by to the test and see if he's
capable. We are coming in on the back foot, which isn't a problem. We can still turn it around. Everybody is in battle, so we ready up and hopefully get a chance to turn this round.
Right. I can see it's quite a heavy siding on the Autobots at the moment.
Yeah. Let's see if we can just help this guy out here. Even though the points are more important at the moment because they're pushing so heavily against us, I need to be able to. Oh, he's activated his mischance. See, that's that absorb that I was talking about earlier.
Right.
He's messed up now, so I can be in his face and be able to just finish him off quite easily with the fists.
That's great. So, I mean, at the moment, there's a high concentration of Decepticons here right near the base, but there are 3 spots because it is Meteor Storm at the moment that we are kind of missing points, losing points of them. really, I shouldn't be chasing like that. I'm going to go for B, and if he does decide to try and defend B, I'll be able to beat him out at the B point. For those that don't know about Meteor Storm, do you want to give them a bit of overview of the game type? Right, yeah, sure. So, as I think Benny mentioned a little bit previously, we have 3 spots that basically meteors that come down with energon that you want to mine. So you want to take these positions. After about 5 minutes, they deplete. So basically, these 3 spots aren't definite. They always move around, and it's a different kind of game because you're not all trying to hunt each other down. You actually want to capture these points to get the most points to win the match, obviously. So the tactics are a lot different. Instead of trying to get the kill, you might want to make the sacrifice to keep the point yours for as long as possible, or at least not let them have it.
Yeah, it's a very difficult game mode because you do very much focus on the kills rather than capturing the points, but the game mode is about capturing those points. So do play as a team and do try to capture those points. If you, as I said before, in with mates, make sure you're communicating correctly on what's going on, which points are being captured and which points need to be helped or defended.
Okay, right.
So we'll get back over to A.
You do have 1 spot now, which is good.
Yes.
But we have our team, I can see they're quite far away from where you are at the moment, and you're going to be chasing.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not leaving. They're chasing one guy who actually managed to dupe them, and he ran around the corner. So they were chasing someone that isn't there. So I'm just going to capture A quickly, and then I'm going to nip over to B because they'll be over at C, and they'll be coming back to A. So if I get to B, they can then rotate round to C.
Right. So it's a good kind of distraction there.
So we've already got one player at B, and I imagine I can meet them in the middle or help them at B defend. There's 2 of them going that way.
That's right.
You can check from your mini-map, guys. For those that don't know, you can actually use plus on the keyboard, and that will change that. No, don't do it!
Oh, no, they've taken it away from you.
I can defend this, though, I think.
We've just got a question in the chat. Are there going to be plans for other game modes before the release? We're updating regularly throughout Open Beta, so just make sure to keep your eye out for new content. We have Warriors coming out in the coming weeks. We'll be mentioning that as well, so keep an eye out. There's a lot of stuff happening. It's exciting.
Do you follow the Twitters? Do you stay on the...
Follow the tweets and those Twitch live streams. I believe they're doing that right now.
Yeah.
But just keep your eye open because there's a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah.
Make sure if you aren't following us on Twitter as well, follow us at MMO Transformers. Follow us on Twitch as well. We'll be doing a lot more of these live streams in the future. Follow us on Facebook as well, and let us know what you think about the game and what you'd like to see in the game. Anything you really want to let us know, we do listen.
Yes. Should be. You'll see there that I've just ignored 2 guys and I just ran off to A. They are just driving around and it would be a waste of time chasing them. Mm-hmm. So if I can go over to a point which forces them to come to me, then I can fight them on my own terms and potentially kill them. 2 of them.
How do you find Drive-By in Meteor Storm?
He's all right. There is other bots that I'd prefer over Drive-By for Meteor Storm. Conduit is one of my favourite, but for Drive-By for Meteor Storm, he isn't bad because he can blow people up that are on the points, and he can cause quite a problem if not managed. Go on, land a shot.
So you can see here, there's 2 Autobots trying to capture this A point. They still haven't had it because obviously they're still under a lot of fire from Sam here at the moment. as we mentioned before, there's sometimes when you want to, say, sacrifice yourself and make sure that no one's taken that point, so that point hasn't been taken yet. It's 2-1 right now, so he's outnumbered, but he is keeping strong just to make sure that they don't capture A. You've got the C point as well, which is yours, and B is now yours as well. So while you've been distracting 2 of the Autobots, your teammates.
I'm going to let it down. He's not healing me. Oh, he is. Oh, no, I'm dead anyway. So yeah, there was 2 Autobots behind, not Autobots, sorry, 2 Decepticons just behind me, and I was hoping they'd follow through, but I think they were busy with somebody else.
Oh, right.
Really, they should have just jumped on the point with me and bullied them out of the point and then recaptured it.
Yep.
But again, that's that communication that you don't have unless you're talking to your mates
right,
playing.
Of course.
So as I said, get involved with your mates is the best way of playing.
Yeah, it's good as well to make friends when you're playing this game and to send friend requests and people that you like playing with. Just reach out to them and say, hey, it was a lot of fun. Let's do it again. That way you can learn how they play and how you guys play together and coming up with good tactics and that sort of thing as well.
So you'll probably see actually a few pop-ups for friend requests for me. I'm not accepting them right now, guys, but this evening
He's not a mean man.
I'm not mean, but I will accept them. And if you see them online, do feel free to send me an invite for a game, and I'll happily jump in with any of you. And if you've got anything to say, just let me know, and I'll have a good chat with you. More than likely.
Right, we've got a suggestion from Mr. TV. I made a concept idea for Grimlock. I designed his weapons, Aztec's abilities, and his passive equipment. Interesting. Can you send us your information at community@transformersuniverse.com? It'd be interesting to find out.
Cool. Yes, got him.
Nice.
Right, now he's a healer. Because Drive-By is this kind of damagey type, the healer should just run away. But he's just going to run around in circles because he knows that he can be a pain and negate a lot of the damage that we put out to him. So let's go help out B because they seem to be struggling now that one's secured. I want this guy.
You want to make sure you've got it. So you're still making sure that they don't take the green away from your. Oh, 3 against 1. That's rough.
No, I'm going down, guys.
See ya.
Yep. Yep. Unlike Monsoon, like I was just playing, I'm gonna die. So gonna die. There we go.
Oh, there it is.
Unlike Monsoon, his Complement 4 actually boosts the damage dealt, so it's very good for chasing people down or blowing people up as you're running towards them. So he isn't very good for running away, unfortunately. Something from the last stream that I spoke about, last game, was the moving the camera around whilst targeting other players. You'll see there, I was targeting an overclock, but I was actually facing down the arrow alleyway that I wanted to transform and drive down.
Okay.
So once I actually hit T, and I went into vehicle form, I directly went that way. So there was no messing around with having to try and turn or anything like that.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
You'll transform in the direction of your camera, so you can just spin around and drive straight away, and you don't have to worry about, oh no, I've just driven into another bot, I'm going to bounce this way, oh no, I've hit a building, so on and so forth.
It saves a lot of seconds as well.
Yes, it does. Talking of seconds, it's
it's very close. Get back into the game.
Yeah, wow. Get the feeling they might win this one, but I think we've given it a good shout, being that we were down by...
it was quite one-sided when you first joined, and you've managed to make a pretty strong defense here.
Yeah, hopefully, if we can maintain CNA about 600 to 900.
So we have a question about voice chat in the game that's going to be coming in. This is something that we're looking into. Why am I looking up this way? There's no camera over there. That's something that we're looking into and seeing how we can incorporate that into the game and whether that's something that we want to put in at the moment.
We do have F keys for a for voice chat, so if you need to call out "prepare me," I think you can see it.
Yeah. So if you press any of the F keys at the top of your keyboard, you'll have different sayings as well. You get to hear a character yell out stuff, which is quite good as well. So
it does help in that kind of regard, but it's a little difficult to follow what the hell's going on, especially with everything else. So actually chatting to people directly, it does help with that. You're not having to look at 101 things.
Of course.
Oh, no.
That's the match.
So unfortunately, Autobots have won again.
It is
looks like it's going in their favour. I heard earlier that they were winning.
They were. It was Decepticons were winning in the amount of kills, and then Autobots caught up as well, very slightly though. It was almost like this, and then Autobots just got a bit more. But you did put up a good fight, and you did get to show Drive-By in a new scenario as well. So obviously we'd seen them in elimination at least last week in a 24-hour live stream, but we got to see just a bit more on how you'd play drive-by, especially on this map here.
Oh, bloody heck, there's a lot of dropouts
There's
there.
a lot of dropouts in there.
Yeah, so as you can tell again from last one, players that stick around, the less people have dropped out from the Autobot side, and there's been quite a few people. I think it's that kind of idea of getting into a game that you're losing. Even if you're losing or winning, you can always turn games around. And there's been so many games that I've come in where we're down by a few kills, but because someone else has come into the game and it evens out, or whatever the scenario is, you can turn it around.
Yeah.
You can always turn games around.
No, it's definitely possible. I mean, we've seen that many times before, and it's not something you should never, leave your teammates behind anyway. Because at the end of the match, you still get your experience points. You still, it's still worth sticking around in the game. Don't rage quit.
Yeah. The rage quitting it's not frowned upon, but you lose out on other things. You can learn more about the bot. You can learn about being on the back foot and turning things around, knowing what to do when you're 2v1.
Yeah.
There's more learning experiences there rather than just go, oh, I'm losing. I'm just going to leave. I'm not stomping on the other team. So do always make that effort to try and turn a game around, and you'll find that the games that you play actually become a bit more fun.
Yeah.
Because you can go, okay, I'm down by one player. I'm still going to try and win this. And you can turn a game around by 1v2ing somebody, and it feels really good. And you get the adrenaline pumping, and you're like, come on,
we can do this. And that's when it changes, you just realize, we may have this. And that becomes one of those memorable games that you have when you're like, we were like, it was 15-5. I remember it like it was yesterday. It probably was. It was probably 6 hours ago when I was playing it.
Yeah, so let's just quickly go over what unlocks we had. Don't think I got much. Prototype Apex, but I used the prototype. Don't know what it was. I'll double check in a second. Domination, getting a
killing blow, same player twice, which is good.
Capturing 2 points without dying.
That's good.
It's not too bad.
It's actually 3 points.
Actually 3 points, and I got myself upgraded critical focuser, but I can't yet use it. It's level 20 for that.
That's right. When you hit level 20, you're able to equip that power core.
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, thanks everyone for joining in. That's us for the UK side of things. I'm Mod G-Dog, and this is Mod Denvir?
Mod Denvir.
Mod Denvir, thank God. Just before we run though, we are still running our Recruit a Friend and our Skill Score competition, so make sure you go on the website and find out more about that. We're running them until Monday morning, so don't think that we've stopped now, just keep going. As well as our double XP, that ends on Monday morning as well, so just keep playing and get as many levels as you can. If you are streaming the game, let us know, and we'll try to plug it to make sure that everyone can see your mad skills. And come back, I think around PDT time is about 5:30 or 1:30 a.m. BST to catch up on the UK stream, the US stream, sorry, with Chris Barassa. It's about 1 hour 50 minutes if you are still awake, or are you just waking up?
Yeah, no, I would advise watching his streams. He is a fantastic player, and his Duststorm plays are pretty awesome.
It's pretty memorable.
Yeah, no, he's had some fantastic games, and when he's in the office and we've been playing against him, it's always been very close. QA versus development have always been fantastic games.
It's always been good matches to watch.
We have to get a few more of those.
I really think we should do some live streaming on that.
Yeah.
Just purely that, and just watch. Oh, if we can even just record the words that people use.
No, do not record yet.
We've done that already.
I don't want that bit.
So from everyone here at Transformers Universe and for Jagex, thank you so much for joining us. We have one more little trailer for you, and then that's it. Thank you so much for joining.
Night, guys.
Bye.